Thank you for plugging into this Family Life News podcast, streaming issues-driven, family-focused news.
This is Faith Under Fire. Each Thursday on Family Life, we give voice to religious battlegrounds in this nation. I'm your host, Tracy Lynn. With us today, Kristi Hambrick with Students for Life. So the battle to save America's most innocent victims wages on. Maybe you've seen the images of streets around the nation being painted with bold yellow letters spelling out Black Lives Matter. Last week, 2 representatives of Students for Life were arrested outside a Planned Parenthood clinic in Washington, D.C., as they attempted to write Black Preborn Lives Matter in chalk despite getting prior permission from the city. Kristi, would you fill in the gaps of how Students for Life prepared for the project and then what happened?
Sure. Well, after seeing Washington, D.C. open up the city streets with the message Black Lives Matter, they then allowed the city streets to become a public forum when they allowed an outside group to paint Defund the Police equals Black Lives Matter. Even since then, they went out and repainted over the flag of the city of Washington, D.C., but left that other group's message. So Students for Life filed for an event permit, and in a letter to the mayor and in our event permit, we asked that we would be allowed to paint Black Preborn Lives Matter. We were verbally told that would be acceptable, and we were told what kind of paint to use. When we showed up for our event, there were 6 police cars waiting, and we were told we could not paint, and so we didn't. But then we asked about chalking. And as you know, all across the country, pro-life people chalk in front of abortion vendors all over the country with messages of love. And again, a peaceful event. The police said not even chalking would be acceptable. One of Students for Life's employees, Warner DePriest, who's a grad student, keeps praying and chalking out front of that particular Planned Parenthood pretty much every Saturday. So he's like, I'm going to let my voice be heard. He was a little intimidated, but he went forward, and another one of our students from an area college joined him, and both were arrested for chalk on a ridiculous charge of defacing public and private property. I think what's particularly interesting about this is the Daily Caller Foundation did a big expose last week looking at how arrests have been handled in Washington, D.C. So over months and months of rioting, vandalism, spray paint, permanent paint, statues torn down, months of this, 4 people were arrested. And yet 2 pro-life students are arrested on a Saturday morning for chalk. That's clearly discrimination. Clearly pro-lifers are being treated differently than other Americans. And the government does not have a right to choose which speech it likes and which speech it doesn't like.
All right, all are protected. Is it correct that Students for Life will now sue the city?
Students for Life has talked with a number of attorneys. We'll make an announcement about this later, who we're going with. And then Warner and Erica, the 2 students, will, of course, have to have criminal representation in regards to the charges. But we will be filing suit because our First Amendment rights have been violated. And it's not just that we were stopped from speaking. It's the chilling effect that such arrests have on other pro-life people. Other pro-life people who are like, well, maybe I don't want to pray in front of an abortion clinic now. Maybe I'm afraid to write a chalk message of love on the sidewalk. So it's not only that we were prevented from expressing the speech we requested to make, it's that other people may feel fear about doing the same. Both of these are very critical because if none of us feel free to exercise our constitutional rights, they don't really exist then, do they? So we're going to need to fight for it.
Absolutely. I saw that Mayor Muriel Bowser and the City Council have renamed a section of 16th Street with the large yellow letters taller than the width of 2 car lanes, Black Lives Matter Plaza. And she has said, quote, like all our other public art, it stays.
Yeah, she's been very clear where her loyalties lie. And I think what's interesting in regards to the mayor, her loyalties clearly lie with Planned Parenthood. She was featured in one of their annual reports. She's had a bill signing before at a Planned Parenthood facility. A Planned Parenthood employee was part of her transition team when she was elected. So there's a clear relationship. When they opened a beautiful, they thought, flagship abortion vendor, she was an honored guest. So the police were clear with us that they had been sent to stop us from painting. And I think it's pretty clear where the mayor's loyalties were lying.
Wow. Well, we need to be aware, and I thank you for standing up and for informing us about what's really happening there, because we're not seeing this on any other news media outlets. I saw one CBN story. What are some of the common ways Students for Life employs to get the message that lives of yet-to-be-born babies matter?
Well, Students for Life of America, we network down to the grassroots level. We have chapters and groups on middle school and high school, college, university, medical, and law school campuses. We bring pro-life speakers into those areas. The clubs have things that we call tabling and mobilization, where we educate peers. And it's peer-to-peer work then, where students are talking to fellow students about how abortion harms women and what really happens, and just the facts that are really left out of the discussion. We also have a Pregnant on Campus program, and the point of that is to assist pregnant and parenting students. 1 in 5 students is pregnant and parenting. So it's not a throwaway. It's a really significant body of people trying to balance family and education. And so we try to be of support to such students. And then Students for Life of America is really known for being the kind of people that will show up with a bullhorn when it's needed outside of events.
Kristi, excellent. Where can we learn more about the focus and outreach of Students for Life?
Yeah, come connect with us at studentsforlife.org. We really appreciate anybody partnering with us, because we're not trying to stand back as a pro-life community. We're trying to charge forward to where the people are who are being targeted for abortion.
That's Kristi Hambrick with Students for Life. I'm Tracy Lynn, Family Life News.